In 2019, Joe Begos, the writer and director of the, in my opinion, epic and atmospheric Bliss, directed VFW, a dark and violent siege film set in a dystopian future riddled with drug addiction, featuring an all-star ensemble cast of mostly older actors portraying a group of honorable and duty-bound Vietnam vets. Starring Stephen Lang of Avatar and Don't Breathe fame as Fred Parras, William Sadler of Bill and Ted fame as Walter Reed, Martin Kove of Karate Kid and Cobra Kai fame as Lou Clayton, George Wendt of Cheers fame as Thomas Zabriski, Tom Williamson as Shaun Mason, and Fred Williamson of AFL football and star of the blaxploitation Black Caesar fame as Abe Hawkins, amongst various others, with a great synthwave-esque soundtrack by the mighty Steve Moore of Zombi fame, the electronic duo highly influenced by Goblin of the epic album Roller and the original Dawn of the Dead soundtrack fame. The movie is a well-received entry into what seems to be a new genre of film. Old men kicking ass, taking names, and being complete badasses. Before we get started, please hit that like and sub, as I have new videos coming out all the time, and it is the only way I can grow. And without any further ado, I present for you the old VFW versus the drug-addicted future of Boz and his animalistic and mutant-like army. In the film, Lizard, portrayed by Sierra McCormick, retaliates against Boz when he kills her sister for seemingly no reason beyond her addiction to hype, a drug he pushes upon a legion of addicted, mutant-esque-like freaks. Lizard steals Boz's stash and flees to the VFW across the street, where Fred is celebrating his birthday by serving drinks and hanging out with his old war buddies and watching 80s-like leotard-donned aerobic videos. When Lizard breaks into the VFW with her drugs, an army of Boz's freaks follows her, where all hell breaks loose, as the duty-bound and honorable old war veterans wage war with the drug-addicted army of animals. From here, tons of violence and gore, shenanigans, battle, chaos, and an all-out war drive the plot to a conclusive and effective resolution. Overall, the music, the violence and gore, and the constant war against Boz's animalistic army plays quite well. However, I found myself more enjoying the first third of the film, where the old-timers were drinking and partying, developing their characters with old stories, and watching a VHS of leotard-wearing women performing an aerobics routine, more so than the war they wage against Boz's freakish army in the later two parts. Taking homage from Carpenter, both visually, stylistically, and musically, within the boundaries of the synthy styles of Steve Moore, it is hard to not think of John Carpenter's various works, especially Assault on Precinct 13 and Escape from New York, as the hype drug has turned America into an almost Escape from New York type environment. The second half of the film is bogged down with tons of violence and shenanigans, led by the seemingly almost always spot-on Stephen Lang. It is depicted quite well, and by the third half of the film, the violence, gore, and insanity of the situations goes over the top, including a buzzsaw-armed William Sadler and a drugged-up and over-the-top Fred Williamson kicking drug-addicted ass. While I would in no way give the plot a masterful or Oscar-type rating, the intricacies of violence and the quality of acting is where this film truly finds its shine. Stephen Lang is nearly perfect in his role, and in fact, all of the old Vietnam vets are believable and beyond lovable in their performances, of which Lang and Fred Williamson are likely my favorites. But none of the performances were bad, and indeed, the acting overall is quite exceptional. Without giving too many spoilers away, some of the best highlights are the vets and Lizard versus Tank, portrayed by Josh Ethier. Stephen Lang's dialogue and interchange with Boz is exceptional. When Lang states, "You make a mistake, I'm gonna cut your heart out," he is both believable and a completely over-the-top badass. The execution of this film is truly great, and at the least, I recommend it to any fans of the siege genre. That said, I found the film to be overly dark, and not only in imagery and depiction, but in lighting. For most of the film, I somewhat struggled to see exactly what was going on, and was very tempted to bring the brightness level up on my television. The ending I found to be extremely satisfying and well done. The acting, as already mentioned, was extremely exceptional, and the actors themselves are simply perfect for the film. All of that said, this is not my favorite old men as badasses genred film, and if you are looking for masterpieces within that genre, I would recommend Bubba Hotep, where Ossie Davis and Bruce Campbell give us what I would consider Oscar-level performances as Elvis and a black JFK, and the relatively underground late phases starring Nick D'Amici as a blind war veteran who takes on a pack of werewolves. Both of these films simply excel within the genre of badass old men. All things considered, this is a very good movie, one that seems to improve on multiple watches, and it is recommended to anyone who enjoys watching old men beat the living shit out of a drug-addicted, insane, almost freak-like animalistic army of crazies. It plays almost like a fast-moving zombie film, in which the old vets arm themselves to the teeth, create traps, and let loose upon the dark travesties of the world. That's about as far as we can go without getting into any spoilers. Thank you so much for waiting through VFW with me. I have new videos coming out all the time, so please hit that like and subscribe and ring the bell. And until next time, keep sleepwalking, my friends.